Hello everybody, welcome to Deluxe Collectibles, and today I'm going to be ranking my top 10 LEGO minifigures from 2021. There were a ton to go through for this list, and I honestly had a really tough time deciding between the ones to put onto the list, and even once they were on the list, it was very challenging to figure out the order of these, so they might fluctuate a little bit throughout time, but for now, this seems to be what my top 10 is, at least at this point, so I hope you all go on to enjoy it, and without further ado, let's get straight into it here with number 10. Alright, so to kick off the list here, we have a minifigure from the Marvel Daily Bugle set, and this one is the Black Cat figure, a fantastic one and a great character to finally have in minifigure form. I'd been highly anticipating this character because I've loved her throughout all the separate iterations of Spider-Man, at least the ones that we've seen her in, especially the Spectacular Spider-Man animated series. I thought she was done very, very well in that series, and I'm sure in the comics she also has great depictions also, so glad to have her in minifigure form. I think they did a great job with the torso printing there. I think that's great. I feel like the hairpiece fits really well, even though it's one of the more basic, like, female hair pieces for LEGO. I think it still just portrays it really well. Her face print looks fantastic. I think that her actual, like, legs also look pretty good, being dual molded also. So there's a lot of great things with this figure. I think it's a fantastic character, and I'm super happy to have her now in LEGO form. Now the next figure that we have here is yet another Marvel one, and this is Wanda or Scarlet Witch, and I think she just looks amazing. They nailed a ton of the figures from the Marvel minifigure series, and I really do hope they plan to sort of make a second series to depict some of the other Disney Plus series, because there's so many great ones coming in 2022, but I think this figure here, just sticking on this, I love the torso printing. The legs look really fantastic as well. I love that we got a ton of detail there. I think that the dual molded arms also work really well for her design here, and I'm actually quite happy with the hairpiece. I was a little bit, had a bit of an issue with it at first when it was revealed, but now, having actually owned the figure in my collection, I can definitely say that it looks really great, and I'm not too bothered by her face print being happy on both sides of it. I think that it's still just a really great, well-detailed character, and I'm really glad to have her now in LEGO form. Alright, now we have another figure from the Marvel series here, and this is Captain Carter, of course, from What If, and I loved her character a bunch in that series. I thought she was really great, and I think that her figure looks phenomenal, and there's a lot of reasons why I like this one. Now, most of the reasons is, of course, just for the soul figure here. I think she has great torso printing, arm printing, leg, even on the side of the legs as well, which is really great, and her new hairpiece as well just looks amazing, so they did a great job with all of those aspects. I love the shield as well. The new printing on there looks phenomenal, and I think this figure is just so great for what it means for other, like, Captain America figures, because you can swap out the legs here, you can swap out the arms, and you can put them on other Cap figures to really bring them to the next level, because most Marvel figures normally don't come with leg printing, they don't get the arm printing, but now you have these pieces that work really well with those, and this is definitely one from that series that I will buy multiples of, so I can upgrade my other Captain America figures, but even just standing on its own, it's one of the best of the year. Now we have our first non-Marvel figure here on the list. I know there were quite a few, but I mean, what can I say? Marvel's knocking it out of the park this year, but the one that we have here is a Ninjago one, and it is Benthamar from Seabound, and I love this character so much in the Seabound season. Definitely one of my favorite, side characters from Ninjago, usually the ones who come with them on the adventure. I feel like Benthamar did an excellent job in his role within that season, and also I would love to see him return as well. I think he's a great connection point as well between Ninjago and the main ninja, and then kind of have like the endless sea as well. I think that's really cool and just opens up a whole new realm for Ninjago, and the character here just looks excellent. I love the torso and the leg printing. I think it's so well detailed. I love getting to see that, and the face print looks excellent as well. It definitely portrays a lot of expression here from the character, and I think Benthamar has a bit of a more goofy personality. Of course, he has to get serious as well since they're facing off against his brother, or stepbrother, I suppose, Kalmar, but I think he looks fantastic. Such a great looking character. Love the hairpiece that they used as well. I think that was a great choice, and it just very accurately depicts the way that he looks from the actual show, so I'm super happy with this one, and I think it's an excellent figure. Now we have one that might be a bit of a surprise for some of you because I haven't spoke about this set as of yet on my channel, but this one's from the Winnie the Pooh idea set, and it is the Tigger minifigure here. Now when I was younger, I was a huge fan of Winnie the Pooh, and Tigger was definitely one of my favorite characters. I used to have like a little like Tigger chair that I used to always sit in, and that just brings so many nostalgic memories back to me that I can't help but love this figure, and I must say I think it's the best looking one out of that idea set. A few of them look a little bit off to me. The Pooh figure, I feel like the face looks a little bit flat. Piglet looks pretty good. I would say Rabbit looks decent as well, but they just don't look as good as Tigger. I think the character just looks phenomenal. So much great printing as well on the arms, on the legs, the tail as well has printing. I think they just did a great job of keeping all of the stripes throughout the entire thing, so it doesn't look like they just automatically cut off anywhere, so I do like that quite a bit. It's got one of the best molded heads that I've seen from the entire year from LEGO, so they're just doing a great job with that. I really do love it a ton, and it's definitely one of my favorites. Alright, now we're back to the Marvel figures here, and this one's another one from the Minifigures series, and it is the Zombie Captain America. Now, personally, the What If episode for the Zombies one, it wasn't a bad episode by any means, in my opinion, but it was definitely one of the ones that kind of disappointed me more, and I know they do plan on kind of expanding upon the zombie universe in Marvel, but I think that just for that sole episode, I feel like we didn't really get as much as we could have out of it, and I feel like it teased quite a bit as well, and Captain America specifically wasn't even really a huge part of it. Of course, he gets the one sort of confrontation against Bucky, but the character still didn't get a ton of time to shine, but I still love the minifigure. I think this one just looks excellent. I love the face printing that they were able to do. I actually used kind of a template from that to make my Halloween themed minifigure mascot for October because I just think it looks excellent. One of the best zombie face prints that we've ever had from LEGO. And I love the color scheme as well, that sort of light blue that really just makes it look like just dead skin. Like, I think it's just very great, a little bit morbid of course, but it is a zombie. And the shield, once again, kind of similar point to the Captain Carter figure, but this shield is just an excellent like damaged Captain America shield that you can use with some of the other figures, in particular the one from the Avengers Final Battle set, because that one could definitely use this shield and the helmet as well, which looks great. So you get some really good pieces from that, and then the rest of the figure, a lot of great detailed printing, and it's definitely just one of the coolest designs and one of the most unique ones as well. Now we have another Marvel figure here, and this one is from No Way Home, and I actually did a separate ranking for my top 10 LEGO Spider-Man figures of all time, so you might see this one on that list, so if you haven't checked out that video, be sure to go do so. It would be highly appreciated, but without that shameless plug out of the way, we have the Spider-Man black and gold figure here, and I think this one just looks excellent. Of course, it's kind of like his inverted suit from the film. That's not really a spoiler. We knew from Homecoming that he had the suit turned inside out, and we could see him working on it to take out the tracker, so that's what this suit is meant to be, and I think it just looks excellent. I really do love the amount of printing that we get on this. That's just a major win for Marvel fans, LEGO fans in general of course, but I feel like with Marvel we can sometimes get a great character in a set, but then they're really lacking in the printing department, and it's just really impressive that LEGO put this much effort into a figure that just came in a regular set. You see it a lot with like a minifigure series, such as the Marvel ones that I mentioned thus far, but for a set, this is really impressive. I think it looks so great, very sleek design and a nice darker color scheme, something that we don't usually get from Spider-Man, unless of course he's donning the symbiote suit or something of that sort. So I do like that quite a bit, just really nicely designed, a lot of detail packed into this one, and it's definitely one of my favorites here on the list. Okay, now we've got a Ninjago figure here, and this one is the Golden 10th Anniversary Cole minifigure here, and I think that he just looks phenomenal. I did a ranking a long time ago, where I'm pretty sure I ranked this one on the list, and you can check out that video if you like to see where it lands, but let me just say, it lands really high on the ranking, because this figure just looks amazing. I love Golden Cole so much. I think the 10th anniversary suits for Ninjago are some of the best anniversary suits that we've received, because the gold actually makes sense within the context of the series, because of course, even though these don't really appear in the canon episodes of Ninjago, I think it's still really cool because of course you have the Golden Ninja, and it just makes sense that the other ninja for this anniversary would get to don their own versions of golden suits, and I love how they're both like equally or uniquely represented in their sort of own separate season armors, such as Cole here being in his Master of the Mountain gear. I think that looks excellent, and it really just does look spectacular. I think the printing's really great. It doesn't just have a super simplistic pure gold design. You get some highlights from the grays, a little bit of orange packed into it as well, and I just really do like that. And I'm also just partial to the Master of the Mountain suits. I think they just look phenomenal, so I'm super happy to add this one to the list, and it's definitely one of my favorite Ninjago figures. Next up here, we have another figure from the Marvel minifigure series, and this one is Sam Wilson as Captain America. An excellent looking figure, and definitely the best one, at least in my opinion, of that series. I think that the amount of detail on this figure, I do believe that it might be one of the most detailed LEGO minifigures just as a whole, because you get printing on the front of the legs, you get printing on the side of the legs, side of the arms, front of the torso, back of the torso, you get printing, of course, on the face. You just get so much printing. I cannot express it enough here. I think it just all looks great on the figure here. I love the wings that you get with it as well. I think they did a great job of building those, where they're not too bulky looking, but they still represent them really well from the actual series, and I do like that quite a bit. And I have a feeling this is going to be like a really important figure to get from this series, because of course we kind of know that Sam is going to be getting his own Captain America film, and I'm sure he's going to at least don this suit for a portion of the film in the beginning, even if he gets a new suit at some point. This one just looks so excellent. I think it's really well done. You get so many great things in it, and I love the new hairpiece as well. That's great. A lot of uses outside of this figure here, so just a lot of things going for this one, and I absolutely love it, and it's just great that you can get it in a little minifigure pack. Alright, so for my top spot here, this one might seem like I'm cheating a little bit here in the list, but at the end of the day, it's just all in good fun here. And for the top spot here, I actually have 6 figures here, but I consider these kind of not as one, but kind of as a bit of a set, and I am going to kind of rank them here separately in this top spot here, so you will kind of know my ranking of them, and you can incorporate that into the list. And if you don't want to consider all of them, then just consider my top one as part of the list. But starting at the bottom here of these ones, I'll just say they're the island suits from LEGO Ninjago. These suits have got to be some of my favorite ones from Ninjago as a whole, and that is saying a ton, because we have so many different variations of the Ninjago suits, the ninja ones in particular, and you just get so many different variations that have all looked really great throughout the years. But these ones, I don't know what it is. I'm going to try to describe it as best as I can, but starting off here at the bottom of these, we have Nia. I think that hers looks pretty good. I feel like the blue, I just think it's a little bit like, I don't know, I think I'm just more partial to a darker color scheme, so I like the more darker, like navy sort of blue. So this is no fault to the actual figure, it's just the color scheme that they gave Nia here. I still think it looks excellent, of course, but it's still just one that's kind of lacking a little bit more than the others, in my opinion. And then the one that I have right above that is Zane's figure. I think that one looks really great as well. It's once again just comes down to my own personal opinions on the color schemes of the ninja and kind of the ones that I'm more partial to, and Zane's usually one of the ones that just kind of ranks a bit lower for me. Of course, still has a great design. I think the torso looks fantastic, the legs, just all of it comes together really well, and that's a part of these figures that I love, is just how they look so clean and they match up with each other so well, and that's why I kind of like to consider them a sort of set. You don't want to have just one or two of the ninja here. You want to have all of them together, and I think it just works really well. Then right above Zane we have Cole as well, who looks fantastic. Cole is one of my favorite ninja. Sometimes I say my favorite ninja, but it always kind of switches up a lot, but Cole definitely high up there. I think he looks fantastic here. I love the grays, the blacks, the orange. I think it all just works together really well. And then above him we have Jay, who I think looks really great. Now these top three here out of these are definitely just so neck and neck. You could kind of consider them all at the top here, but Jay of course just looks really fantastic. Love the blue that they're using here, the mixture of the not as light blue as Nia, but lighter than the darker blue that he's sporting on his arms. I know I said blue a lot there, but I think it looks really excellent there, and I love the headbands as well that they're all wearing. I think they just look so great, so I really do love those as well. I like how the use of the half masks here as well just looks phenomenal. And then above Jay I put Kai, who I think his hairpiece is my favorite of the headband ones, but I think that there's just one figure that's right above him. But going on about Kai here, I think his torso looks great. It's one of my favorite ones. Red is one of my favorite colors, so it's definitely something where I'm just a little bit more biased towards that one, but I think he looks excellent. And then at the top here I have arguably the main ninja featured for the island, of course Lloyd here at the top. I think he just has the most jungle looking suit. Of course he has the alternate face where he has the camo on his face there, so it's kind of the one that's most on theme here, and I think it just looks excellent. I love the sort of like introduction of like, or sort of the parts that have the leaves, kind of like the nature incorporated into his suit here. I think that works really well with it also, and his hairpiece looks great. It just all comes together really well, and overall I think all these figures just look excellent. They're some of my favorite ninja suits, and I'm really curious to hear your opinion on these as well, but let me know that in the comments below, and that's all I have to say for the number one spot. Alright, so that's going to conclude the video here for my ranking of my top 10 LEGO minifigures from 2021, and of course this list tends to fluctuate quite a bit. That's kind of with all of my lists when I do them, unless it's a very small, concise amount of items here. Of course, when you're selecting from every minifigure from the year, that is a lot of selection there and a lot of variety to pick from, and I know I gravitated more towards Ninjago and Marvel, but those are just the main themes that I like the most, so it's naturally just going to happen. But I'm really curious to hear all of your lists down below. I'm sure they're going to massively vary from what mine was, and that's why I'm excited to hear about them down below. And also be sure to check out my other top 10 video that I did for the LEGO sets of 2021, where I break down my top 10 for the actual sets that released this year. There's definitely some really great ones there, so if you haven't checked that out, it would be highly appreciated if you could. And just thanks so much for checking out this video. I really appreciate it. Be sure to leave a like down below. Also subscribe as well if you would like to check out some of my other content. That would also be highly appreciated. But thanks so much. I will see you all next time, and always remember, keep on collecting.